We're going to start the recording right now. Well, good day, everyone. Hope you are having a great New Year's. It is January 8th, about 8:05.
9:05.
Well, actually, 8:05, 9:05, 10:05, wherever you are at some sort of 05. Hey, Gina, how are you today?
Like 30 minutes more. Is there?
That's right. Hey, Gina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, we were in the chat room before the show. Larry and I were discussing how long can you say Happy New Year, and then Dan says as long as you haven't seen the person, we can say Happy New Year. So to everyone watching the show, if I haven't seen you, Happy New Year. For those of you I've seen, move on. It's already. You guys got work to do.
No more celebrations.
No more celebrations. I guess I've been too busy and working too hard because I have a cold or throat issue going on, and so I've got my hot tea today to help me not cough during the show.
I think a lot of people do. There's a bug going around.
It's called New Yearitis. I dodged the big stomach bug, and I just have a head cold. So, Rick, before we introduce our guest, let me ask you: do you make resolutions? I don't make it.
It's a waste of time.
Have you at least resolved to do anything different this year?
No.
No. You're just gonna this is good.
My life is in a perfect stasis right now. Yes.
I always do the thing of every year. Okay, this year I want to. I set business goals, and I've done that, and then I thought, okay, I want to get healthier and do things, and I've been really interested in all the technology, obviously, to help you, eat healthier, be healthier, work out, do all that. And Kirk loves his Fuel Band. He wears that all the time. It tells how much activity you get during the day. Mm-hmm. But I have to share one thing real quick that I found. There is actually there are several websites where people can bet. You can place bets, and one is called FatBet.net. Another one is called dietbet.com. So you go in there and say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and you put down real money. So you say, I'm going to wager $30 that I will lose 20 pounds. And other people bet against you or for you, and at the end of, I think they do it every 4 weeks on several of these, that if you lose the weight and you win like this pot of money. I'm thinking that's a pretty smart idea. That might be the motivation some people need, but, so fatbet.net. I like the sound of that one, too. You think that would work?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think that was pretty funny, and I thought, for anybody out there who one of your resolutions is to lose weight, you might want to check out some of these, dietbet.com or fatbet.net. I thought those were pretty clever.
I actually have a resolution not to bet on weight loss anymore.
Is that so you couldn't do this one?
I couldn't do that one.
Yeah, so maybe that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I've never really been into resolutions. I figure, what, if you want to change something, change it. You don't need to wait till the beginning of the year.
Well, every time I set goals, one of my goals has to do with learning Spanish. I've said this to you many times. I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm going to learn Spanish. As a matter of fact, in less than a month.
All right, Gina, here's what we're going to do. Hola, Gina, ¿cómo estás?
Bien. ¿Y tú?
Yo estoy muy bien.
That's long.
Gina, ¿qué hora es?
¿Qué hora es? Es la 9:10.
Son las 9:10.
Okay, you sound better saying it. But this ties into our guest today because learning a language has always been. Last year I signed up for Rosetta Stone. I did one session so far in a year. Rosetta Stone.
One lesson or one actual session of the whole thing?
Session. Yeah, I haven't completed a lesson. I did one session. I just need to sit at my computer more and do it and commit to it. But part of it is I want it to be fun. And I was so excited because our guest today, Deborah Thomas, she works in all kinds of projects. She works on lots of different interactive technology. She's involved in immersive technology, really a lot of gaming things on making learning fun. And so Deborah's here to tell us about a fun way to help me achieve one of my goals, and it's not weight loss. So welcome, Deborah Thomas.
Welcome, Deborah. How are you?
Hi, great, thank you. Yeah, I don't think you can lose weight with LinguoLand, but we could try to figure out how to factor that in.
Well, you could virtually lose weight.
Yeah, you can get, your avatar gets skinnier and skinnier.
That's right. And then you feel good about it, so you lose weight too.
In a virtual environment, if you go to a gym or a workout, because they do spin classes in virtual environments, but they say just the fact of being around people talking about your routine and being healthy helps you lose weight. So I think that's fascinating. So learning a language, though, seems definitely very plausible.
Now, you folks took a different approach to learning a language. You created a virtual world where people go, and I don't know enough about it, but basically they can go to different cities, learn the language of that city, go to different events. And that's brilliant, because what better way to learn a language and with interacting with other people in almost like a full immersion.
Exactly. So you can sign up. We haven't launched yet, but we're going to by the end of this month. So we're very excited to make that announcement. We have launched it from a B2B perspective, so we have it working with schools. So one school can connect with another school, so the students can have a virtual student exchange. But the LinguoLand at large for all users will be available by the end of the month. So we're very, very excited about it. And it is a 3D virtual world that you can access from your iPad or your smartphone or a PC browser. And
really unusual too.
Yeah. So you select your avatar, and then we have a landing. We're building a landing lobby, so to speak. And you'll be able to select which language you want to practice. Now, we were hoping to raise some money with a Kickstarter recently, and we didn't make it, so we're not going to have some of the functionality we hope to have, but what we will have by the end of the month is the ability to log in, select which language you want to practice, and you connect then with someone who's interested in working with you.
Wow.
And you can then practice. So we'll have cafes, restaurants, different places you can go. And we do have the ability, just recently, we have the ability that your avatar can sit down. Because it's it's way more comfortable to sit down.
Which is always funny, the concept of your avatar never gets tired, but it wants to sit down.
It does.
You just feel like it needs to sit down.
It does.
Now, this is not in a current virtual environment like Second Life or Protosphere. This is your own platform that you built. Is that correct?
That's right. So my partners and I have been working on this technology for 4 years, and it is a private engine, custom engine, and so it's not Second Life. It's not one of these other worlds, but what's cool is it's very small download, tiny little download, and you can access it from so many sources that it's just going to be really easy to use, easy to take with you, and practice basically anywhere. And it kind of springs from this idea of the language exchange. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but a lot of people in different countries have what they use these language exchange centers, and there's some that are online, but there are some in a lot of countries they have actual cafes where you can go to this place and hook up with other language partners that you want to practice with. But our thinking was that's hard to come by because not every city has those,
right.
And it's also nerve-wracking for me anyway to try to speak a new language in front of someone for the first few times.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, because I have literally taken a Spanish class at a community college, and I did really well in that class. But then I bought all the CDs in my car. But when you sit in front of someone, so you feel confident in a class where everyone's learning, then you go, let's say our trip to Spain, we went there, and I become intimidated to speak in Spanish. How does this help someone overcome that?
Right, because you're looking at them, so you feel, and you can see their face. This is my unscientific reasoning, that you can see their face, and you can see it. To me, I see people watching me like, oh, you're going to get it right if you just keep trying to say that word. And that makes me more nervous. So in the virtual world, you don't see them. And they can give you positive, like eventually our animation is going to be such that you can give people all sorts of feedback with your body and your visual language.
Right.
So that is going to make it, I think, really exciting. So, but in the world as it is right now, you'll be able to talk to them and they can help you by correcting you, but you don't have to see their face, so they're not grimacing if you said it really badly.
So you haven't created the facial animations of pain yet for them.
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that Gina doesn't know that I used to do is I was a Berlitz professor of English for about a year. I taught English when I lived in Argentina I lived there for 3 years, and I taught English for a year there. It was great. It was a good experience, and they had the same approach of immersion, except it was you would have a student there for the whole day, and you were not allowed to talk their native language, which in this case was Spanish. You could only talk English. I mean, everybody cheated, but for the most part, you were only allowed to talk that language, and you would take them to lunch, you would take them to tea, whatever, and it was all done in their language. So they had no choice but to try to figure out what you were saying and try to learn like a kid. It worked pretty well, not always as well as it should, because adults learn differently. But on the whole, it was actually a pretty good experience. It was fun. And I noticed, when you're going into a virtual world or environment, you're in the same kind of frame set where you have to communicate.
Right.
Unless you stay quiet, which kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Now, but I'm curious, so does that mean someone is always, or do you set appointments to meet someone like you would at a school? It's not like you just log in whenever you want to converse and there's somebody there.
Exactly, because it's a social world. And
okay.
Yeah, 24/7. So you'll be able to log in, select the language you want to practice with, and then there will be people available. Now, like you're saying, though, eventually we'll be able to have it so that you can meet certain people at certain times and all sorts of, other things available.
Right.
Like that.
Which I love the video that you created that showing up at a cafe looking for someone, and then you spot them and you sit down and have a conversation. It just seemed very realistic. The avatars, I was very impressed. They look very realistic. They don't look like the typical, I've been in a lot of virtual environments where they're brand new virtual environments, and the avatars look and feel very stiff, and these I thought looked really great.
Thank you. We are really proud of our graphics, and we think our avatars do look really good. So I appreciate that comment. And even the virtual environments, I think, are really awesome. We've got some cafes and some streets in Spain and some streets in Paris, and they just look fantastic. So we're real proud of that. Thank you.
Now, most people, when we talk about Second Life or a lot of these virtual environments, people kind of get creeped out that there's going to be creepers there or people trying to hit on people. How do you prevent that?
Yeah, so we will have the ability to vote people off the island. So if somebody commits, an offense, you can report it, and then if they get too many, we haven't completely, like I say, we're about to launch at the end of the month, but we're still working out a few details. And we're going to be asking for feedback from users from the very beginning and from now on, because that's the new world we live in. You need and want to get feedback from your customer base or clientele. So we will be asking people for ideas as well, but what we're working on is a way to have people let us know that someone was annoying, and if we get another, we'll put them on notice.
Right. Now, is there a fee to join?
Well, when we launch at the end of the month, it will be free for a while.
To get people to get in there and try it.
Yeah. So we're excited about
because I was going to say the fee would make sense, because that might also eliminate some of the, undesirables.
Right.
But now I also read that you're going to have a specific area for kids. Now, do you already have that? You were talking about the student exchange, or being able to work with other students in other countries. Is that something you're already doing? Tell us about how kids are involved.
Yes, so we do have LinguoLand for schools, and we have a few, several schools available right now. But that works more like an exchange. So it's private, it's locked down, and one school will connect with a school that we will select for them, and they will connect at any time after we get them hooked up. They can connect and talk to the students at any time. So what's very exciting, though, so there is a fee for this service, and what we're going to try to do, we just did a Kickstarter that wasn't successful. It was really unfortunate, but we're retooling that idea, and we're going to be launching a new crowdsourcing event. We're going to try Indiegogo, and for less money, but what we want to do for that one is have a way to raise money for public schools, because they don't have money. Right now we're finding that we can get private schools to pay for this, but the public schools, as you know, just don't have the funds.
Right.
Our original model we thought would work, because we wanted them to pay, but then they could charge for extracurricular activities after school, and maybe have it so that they could actually make money, because the fees aren't real high, really. But for Indiegogo, what we want to do is try to raise money so that we can give it away to 50 schools for free. So that's something we'll be announcing soon.
That's exciting. So, and I just keep picturing going, gosh, if I were a student, how cool would that be? You sit in class and you get to talk to some students in another country and learn each other's language and do things together. I just think what a great concept.
Well, where that would really come in handy too is a lot of the students are doing foreign exchange programs. So what better place to go before you get there to do some practice?
Oh,
exactly, to practice before you get there. And also for those schools and students who never get to do that, they now will have a chance to have their own foreign exchange right at their desk.
Right there. Oh, that's such what a cool concept. And now, how long have you been involved in virtual environments before you came up with this idea 5 years ago?
Well, so I started working with this team. The team of programmers are in Spain, actually, and I started working with them 5 years ago. And the funny thing is, we found each other on LinkedIn. I got an email one day, and it said, hey, we're looking for someone with your skill set. Would you be interested in talking to us about, creating some 3D virtual world learning components? And I'm thinking, well, I would, but I know when I email you back, you're going to ask for my social security number.
And money.
Right, for your king. So funny thing is, I wrote back and I said, well, I'd be, really interested in hearing more about it. And that was at like 11 o'clock one night. The next morning, I had an email from them that was really long. It had all sorts of links, and it told me, you know, what kind of programs they had been doing and what they were looking to do, and links to so I could see some of the things that they had worked on. And I thought, oh my God, I cannot wait to talk to these people. I could barely finish the message because the links to the programs that they had worked on were so beautiful, and the work was so terrific that I could barely read the message that said, oh, and we'll need you to come to Europe for a few times. And I ended up writing back and telling them that, like, I could hardly read your message because your product is so good. And
wow.
So we set up an interview that the end of that week, and I started working with them. I went to Spain 4 times, I think it was, and for several weeks at a time, and worked with them. And we built a 3D virtual environment where you could move your avatar around to practice health and safety skills. And that was a lot of fun to work on with them. So that was one product of 5 years ago that I worked on.
And then was the language learning, was that your initial plan, or did that kind of evolve?
Yeah, so no, this was new. They so at that time we were talking about, we designed an LMS and all sorts of things to go with that, a learning management system to go with that virtual environment, and we were brainstorming different things. And at that time, I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could have a learning cafe that people could meet in afterwards, after a session, after working through these 3D simulations, then meet with other people and talk about things you've learned, and have some some structure around that. So that was one of the some of the early conversations about it. So the language then kind of evolved out of some other ideas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm such a fan of virtual environments for learning, and I just think they're so creative, and I'm excited to see Sean Collins, who's in the chat room, and he is a king in the virtual environment. I mean, he knows so much about these environments, and one of the first people that I met, I think, in Second Life, and he lives here in Boulder, and we've met in face to face, and we both have talked about this. It's just such a creative environment. It's sad to me that it's still, there's these barriers to get the masses adopting it. And that was one of the things I thought was so exciting about yours, as being available on the iPhone, iPad, being able to take it with you, learn on the go, and making it easier for people to get in. I mean, the fact that you can get in from your browser without downloading this big program. And I mean, I went out and bought a whole new computer years ago because I needed bigger video cards in my computer. So, this is amazing and exciting to hear. So you said this week you're going to have it launching.
Well, not this week, but this month.
The end of this month.
Right.
That's exciting.
Now you mentioned, I have another announcement that I'd like to make for just for your audience. We are looking to give away our world to one school, and if someone in your audience knows of a school that they think is worthy and needy of a virtual world like this, we would like to hook them up with LinguoLand.
That's great.
Wow. Okay, so if anyone's out there and you're listening to this and you know of a school that you think would really benefit from this, do they just get a hold of you?
Yeah, just contact me at sillymonkey@mindspring.com, and I will make sure that we make this happen, and we will get you back in touch with you to let you know when it works.
That's exciting. Okay, so Sean wants to know, how can a person be alerted on your launch?
Oh, okay. That's a great question. We do have a website, LinguoLand.com, and it's Lingo with a U, so it's LINGUO, and I like to say that's the U in LinguoLand.
Oh, nice. And Sean had already put that in the chat room, so I see that link out there.
And we've been showing your website too.
LinguoLand.com.
Oh, good. So
from there, they can sign up to get notifications. Oh.
Yep. And we've been showing the website and link throughout the show, so hopefully people will notice that.
You.
Perfect. And I put your Twitter handle out there. Didn't you have a different Twitter handle?
I have a Silly Monkey one, and I have a LinguoLand one. Is that what you mean?
I thought you had one with your name, but that must have just been my Facebook connection. But I kept looking for your name on Twitter, and I was like, gosh, I thought you had one other than Silly Monkey. But Silly Monkey and the O is a 0.
Yes.
Right. So we've got all that on there. I think this is so exciting. I love the whole gamification in just learning in general, making it fun. Again, I'm a fan of all of this and just trying to learn Spanish myself. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the year. See, Rick, my resolution. I will
Time to learn.
I keep telling my husband we just have to keep going back to Mexico. In the winter, when language really sinks in my brain.
In winter.
Yeah, winter, Mexico, language. It somehow it goes together.
Yeah, it's required. How else can you learn if you don't go to Mexico?
Else. Exactly. Is he not concerned about my learning and my ongoing education? Yeah, that's exciting. And I really wish I would have. I mean, again, I do commit to it all the time, and then time just gets away. But I love the fact of making it something fun. So, are you working on any other projects, or is this consuming your time right now?
Yeah, this is pretty busy. I do have other projects. I have other clients that I work with, so I am working on other things as well. But yeah, this is a main focus. And some of the games. One of the things we were trying to do with our Kickstarter was to raise some money to put some of our multiplayer games in the world. We didn't make that money, so we're not going to be able to have the games. We have some of them already built, but they will be added. So we will have some of the games added soon, but not as soon as we had hoped.
Right, not upon launch.
Right. Exactly.
Well, you have to have something to upgrade to the next version, right?
Right.
That's exciting, and I wish you the best of luck because I'll be there. Cheering in Spanish. What would I say? Rick, how would I cheer in Spanish?
Well, you could make believe you're at some... Well, it depends. Whether you're in a soccer stadium, it depends where you're cheering. I guess in Spain you would say ole.
Ole. El idioma español. I don't even know what I just said. Sean, did I just call her an idiot? What did I just say? El idioma español. Sean typed that. I said it. Well, this is so cool.
So, Deborah, we wish you a lot of luck on the launch, and hopefully you guys do really well with this. It's exciting. It's a lot of fun, and I think you guys are definitely in the right direction with where this could go.
Thank you very much. We'll definitely keep you posted and let you know how we're doing. And if we find out about an audience member that's willing and interested in having their school get connected with a school in another part of the world, then we'll let you know that we've made that connection.
That sounds great.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That sounds great.
I hope somebody takes you up on that. That's such an exciting thing for schools and educators to get involved with. So
and again, we've got the website up right there. It's www.linguoland.com.
Correct.
I see the website. They're somewhere in LinguoLand.
All right, well, Deborah, thanks for being on and
thank you.
Well, guess what, Gina? We are about 35 minutes into the show. It went quickly.
It just flies. 30 minutes is too hard.
Well, in the break since we've been gone, I went and got something. My wife wanted my Galaxy 3.
Uh-oh.
So I got a Note. I got the Samsung Note 2. Yeah, the thing is huge. In fact, let me show you how big it is. That's how big it is.
No,
seriously, it's not that big, but it's a pretty big
show me something to compare it to. What other phone do you have there?
I don't have anyone with me right now. I should have bought the. It's about 1.5 inches bigger than the Galaxy 3, and it's got a beautiful screen. It's basically a giant Galaxy 3 with some other features.
So it's a phablet.
So that's what it looks like.
A phablet, which is a perfect size to take with you and learn language on.
Yeah, it's really good, and you can put all your little beautiful widgets and all that kind of stuff. But it is large. This thing is 5.5 inches.
And does it have a stylus?
It does. Right underneath it, there is a stylus.
Okay.
So you can actually write, and it brings up a little application where you can do things that I don't know.
Take notes.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote on a little bit. It's okay. I don't really want to write on a computer, not by hand.
Oh, see, now if you have the app, I love that app called Paper.
Yeah, Paper's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but I don't think it's available on Android. But that's fun to draw with a stylus.
Yeah, it is
Very
neat.
fun.
So anyway, so it's my giant Samsung Galaxy 3, also called the Note 2. Very nice phone. It's not bad. Now, we saw some sneak previews. I don't know if they're real, of the new iPhone 6 whenever it comes out. And it looks like a Galaxy 3. It's big.
That's interesting. It'll be fun to see. And this is a big tech week. We've got CES going on, and then we also have the social media, new media expo,
Right.
all going on in Vegas right now, starting today. And one of these years, Rick, we need to be there.
I know. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
That would be a fun one.
I know. So I'm excited to see what comes out of that. See, maybe next year. See, Deb, you've got to be at these tech expos, these big launching LinguoLand.
That would be awesome.
I know. Wouldn't that be? Yeah, because I love these kind of things. Just seeing what is the future. At CES, it's interesting. Just seeing all the smart home technology being rolled out.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's pretty good.
There's so much.
It's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited to see where our homes, who knows, we could have a room in our home that's dedicated to just education and just go into the big screen room and learn stuff and download stuff. And I guess maybe that's what our living room is now.
It's becoming that.
I know. It's exciting. But
anyway, we are at the end of our show today. And Deborah, again, a pleasure meeting you and having you on. Good luck with the launch. Gina, as always.
This has been fun. And I have to throw out, Larry reminded us, January 30th and February 1st is ASTD's Tech Knowledge Conference in San Jose. Are you going to that, Deb?
I have not completely decided. I know the cheaper rate is just about over.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Coming up. That'll be another fun one. Gosh, so much tech goodness in January. Well, everyone have a Happy New Year, even though I already told you that's the last time I'm saying it. Happy New Year.
Have a Happy New Year.
Feliz cumpleaños. No, I think I just told you happy birthday.
Hasta la próxima. By the way, Deborah, you were learning Spanish, weren't you?
Me?
Yeah, Deborah.
Yes.
No, Deborah was.
Oh, yeah, I'm working on it, too. I'm actually in the same boat as Gina. So I have tried millions of things, and it just hasn't worked for me. And I know that I'm going to be able to do it this way. So I'm so excited.
That's great.
We'll be amigos in LinguoLand.
Well, my husband is from Costa Rica, and we've already started talking that we will practice in LinguoLand together, even though we haven't done it in person.
That sounds good. That's funny.
It's different. It's more fun. It's more creative. It'll happen.
Yes.
Well, one last time, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, and we'll see you guys next week on SchreckTeck. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.